He had no other choice. They announced it to the world like this: Trump will knock on Turkey's door. The U.S.-based think tank Atlantic Council wrote that U.S. President Donald Trump will soon knock on Turkey's door. The Atlantic Council examined the new equation in Syria following the collapse of the Assad regime. The analysis emphasized that the investments made by the Gulf countries supporting Assad in Syria were in vain after Assad was quickly overthrown and fled to Moscow. In addition, attention was drawn to Turkey's strategic moves in the region and its important role in this process. It was stated that the powers that will be active in Syria in the upcoming process should cooperate with Turkey. Over the last 6 years, the Gulf countries have taken steps to normalize their relations with the Bashar Assad regime in Syria and even reopened their embassies in Damascus after the civil war that began in 2011. Despite Assad's strengthening of power and Iran's increasing influence in the region, the strategic costs of Syria's further isolation in the international arena were realized. The Gulf countries cited regional tensions and the growing influence of non-Arab countries in Syria as justifications for the normalization process. For example, the United Arab Emirates UAE and Bahrain took these steps in 2018, while Saudi Arabia reopened its embassy in Damascus in 2024. Aiming to reduce Iran's influence in the process, Qatar continued its criticism of the Assad regime and refused to normalize relations. Assad was readmitted to the Arab League in 2024 by attending a summit in Saudi Arabia. It was also reported that the UAE cooperated with the U.S. in negotiations to ease U.S. sanctions on the condition that Assad prevent Iran from smuggling arms through Syria. However, with the surprise fall of Assad's regime, the Gulf countries were at a stalemate as the last countries to take action to support Assad. Nevertheless, this development presented an opportunity for the Gulf countries to have a major influence on the future of Syria, both politically and economically. Following the overthrow of Assad on December 8th, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Bahrain, and Oman resumed their diplomatic activities in Damascus. The new Syrian government issued statements thanking these countries. Saudi Arabia stated that it offered the strongest support to the Syrian people after the overthrow of the Assad government and met with Syria's new leader on December 22nd and announced plans to supply oil to Syria after this meeting. Saudi Arabia also cooperated closely with Turkey to participate in the transition process in Syria. According to the Atlantic Council's analysis, Turkey, the country with the strongest relationship with the new Syrian government, is in a position to further penetrate the region with its increasing influence in the Middle East and North Africa. Turkey is strengthening its position against Iran not only with its gains in Syria, but also with its cooperation in the South Caucasus. However, according to the author, Turkey should not act alone in the reconstruction process of Syria. Cooperation with the Gulf countries is of great importance in terms of legitimizing this process and providing the necessary financial support. Gulf countries can have a significant impact on the new leadership in Syria by facilitating talks between Turkey, Russia, and Iran, along with Arab countries, at the Doha Forum that determined Assad's fate. During this process, Qatar continued to support the Syrian National Coalition and opposed normalization policies with Assad. The overthrow of Assad would be a major setback for Iran. The analysis said Gulf countries can seize this opportunity to strengthen the Arab role in Syria's future. The U.S. will also have an important role in this process. International and regional support for Syria's reconstruction and transitional governance is vital to Syria's stability and the weakening of Iran's influence in the region. The Trump administration can cooperate with Turkey and the Gulf countries to finance this process and provide the necessary resources for reconstruction.